Hello, Jesse Good here. Today I'm taking a look at the LEGO Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom Shanghai Che set. Now this retailed for $30 with 244 pieces and 5 minifigures when it was released back in January 2009. Now let's take a look at those minifigures. The first minifigure we'll take a look at is Indiana Jones. Now this version is exclusive to the set for one reason, which is that torso printing. I don't like how there's no back torso printing because the front looks fantastic. It just looks a bit incomplete when there's nothing on the back. That design for the tuxedo I really like the color scheme of. The front facial printing is the one they use for most Indiana Jones minifigures, which does not have back facial expression because, well, there's a fedora piece, and the fedora piece wouldn't really cover the back of his face. The fedora piece does also come in the set where you could swap it out with the male hair piece, or that's the official name of the Lego piece. And that is it for the Indiana Jones minifigure. Oh yeah, he has a little pistol as well. My favorite minifigure, however, is the exclusive Willie Scott of this set. She also comes in the Temple of Doom, but it's a completely different look. The design of this minifigure is really cool because they have one hairpiece that they've never used since. That just shows dedication for how accurate they want to make this figure. But I also love this torso design, which does have back torso printing. It has a nice gold shine to a lot of the parts of it, and it looks very much like her dress from the movie. Everything here is great as well, where it continues on to leg printing, the face print, which only appears in this version, and the one in the Temple of Doom set, which the yelling expression fits her character so well. Even though I love this figure, I cannot stand that character in Temple of Doom. You can see her alternate expression, which has a smiling face. And if you're curious, this tiara at the back of her hair is an existing piece that is just attached via a little accessory hole. I like how well covered that accessory hole is, where if you look at it at the front, it's not going to show up or anything like that. And this tiara in that translucent red is just a really cool recolor for the piece. You do get an extra one in this set, and she also has a diamond as an accessory. The next minifigure is Short Round. This is the same version that appears in the larger Temple of Doom set from summer 2009, but this design does have an exclusive torso and face print that only appear in those two sets, so that doesn't appear anywhere outside of those sets in the world of LEGO. The face print, yeah, I don't think it holds up as much. The eye design just doesn't work in my opinion. The torso print, though, actually looks pretty cool. I like the detailing there. I do wish they printed his hat, though. I think that's just something missing from the movie, but you got to keep in mind this is a 2009 set, so you can't expect the level of detailing they have nowadays, which is why I really want to see more LEGO Indiana Jones sets, and I'm sure we'll get them when the 5th movie comes out. If the 5th movie comes out, after all. So these next two minifigures are called the Shanghai Gangsters by LEGO, but they're clearly, or at least this one is clearly based off of the main villain from this whole scene, which is Lao Che. The design of Lao does have an exclusive face print, which only appears on this one figure in this one set, and an exclusive torso print, which also appears on the next Shanghai Gangster. We also have the same fedora that Indiana Jones has, but in black, as well as the same pistol that Indiana Jones has. And finally, we have the second Shanghai Gangster, which we could assume is Cal from the movie. His design does have a face print that only appears on this one figure in this one set. Again, the same torso and hat and legs and weapon as the last minifigure, though. So the two vehicles of the set include Short Round's car, which is a 1930s convertible, and then the Gangster's car, which is a 1930s sedan. So the convertible looks fantastic from the exterior, in my opinion. Even though this is a 2009 set, I mean, back in 2009, they didn't have the blockiest of builds, but it's not the level of detailing we could get today. This, however, does have a level of detailing that I think rivals vehicles today, and this is a vehicle that I've always remembered. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a vehicle from the Shanghai Chase set. It's a very memorable licensed vehicle in that regard. It's aided by that 6Y design, which gives it a very sleek and very minifigure scale look to it. There's a nice color scheme of tan and white that matches the accuracy of the actual vehicle in the movie. Though I would say some of the hood part right here is a little less round than it should be. No pun intended, because we do have Short Round in this set. We have the flaps at the front, which are clipped on, and I like how they have the shaping there. How they also clip on these headlights right here. At the back, how they clip on these tail light parts. There's a lot of different angles done here using clips, and I like that. This back trunk part can be easily removed, which there's a play feature in the instructions that just say you could have Short Round, I guess, stuffed in there, but you can't really stuff him inside there, which I was like, why'd they come up with that idea? But you could actually have a minifigure standing there and gunning there or whatever if you want to put Indiana Jones. But then this kind of leads into my problem with this vehicle. So the interior fits two minifigures very well. It looks good when you have two minifigures on the inside. They have this cloth part at the front, which has a flap that you could open up, a little roof flap for the convertible. Now you have the minifigures slide down in there to recreate the scene from the Temple of Doom. That's cool. There's even like a little back cutout, but you can't fit three minifigures in here sitting down. There's like no possible way. Unless, again, you take off this back trunk area, which wouldn't really make sense. In the movie, there's a back seat, which has, two more seats there. Here, they just kind of show on the box Indiana Jones just kind of, I guess, peeking out of that convertible roof. I don't know. It doesn't really gel well with me because then he's just kind of like standing on their shoulders or floating. I wish this was just a little bit bigger on the interior, which would have probably compromised the exterior look. I get it. They use this frame piece here, which gives it some nice shaping, but you end up only having space for two minifigures. So the interior ends up being very cramped, and I just kind of wish they had more space because this, in the scene, is meant to fit these three characters. So when it can't fit the three characters, you have to have a character kind of poking out like that. It looks very weird, and when you have a character poking out like that, it does actually bend this cloth piece, so it's not something you want to leave a minifigure poking out like that for a while. That cloth piece also pushes them forward, which gives them a different angle, and it's just kind of a complicated thing. And I get that it's hard to even put like a back seat or anything there, but I don't know. It's a tough situation. One thing I also don't like about using this build here, while it does look really good, is that it's very hard to access the inside. You really have to recreate that seat to put them inside sitting down, unless you want to kind of move your hand around on this side part with the cloth there and fit them standing up that way, which I guess could work. Beyond that, the design of the interior doesn't have too much going on. There's a steering wheel, and that's about it. There's no prints or anything like that. But yeah, that's just my grievances with the convertible. Again, a very nice looking vehicle, especially when you don't have minifigures in it. Looks fine with two minifigures, but when you try to get those three minifigures, it looks very cramped and it just looks odd and it looks very undersized. However, I really like how the Gangsters Black Sedan came out, and I don't really have any problems with this one. I think I like the exterior of the last car a little bit better, but this still looks fantastic. Very retro styles, fitting that 1930s era. The design of the interior doesn't feel cramped, where you could easily remove the roof here and have your two minifigures sitting at the front. This actually uses the same base piece right here as the last vehicle, but in a different color. And then the back area has enough room for about two minifigures, one at the very least. Now, they don't really use the back area in the movie. You could have one sitting down, or heck, you could maybe hide some bodies in there for these gangsters. I don't know if that's what they were going for. Put the roof back on. Not too much to cover, with some nice designs at the front. I like how they use this piece right here, which is usually used for windows, for that front design of the car. And at the back, there's even a little brick poking out to get some of the shaping there. I like that. So there's not too much else to show with these two vehicles. Let's take a look at the packaging that I do have and then the final verdict. So again, unfortunately, I don't have the box for the set, but I do have the instructions, which at the back, there's some interesting advertisements. There's the play features that I said with the short round one. And then we have the fight on the flying wing. The reason this one's advertised here, not only because it's the Indiana Jones set, but this was the other January 2009 Lego Indiana Jones set. There's also ads for some of the 2008 sets with the Temple of the Crystal Skull, which I now own because my friend gave it to me. Same with this set, another set that another friend gave to me, and I gotta clean those up soon so I could review them and rebuild them. Then we have the Escape, or the Temple Escape from Raiders. Always wanted that set, put on my Christmas list. Never got it. Maybe someday I'll get it, but it's very expensive now. I did do a review of this set already, and I own this set. This was one of the few Indiana Jones set. Actually, I think it was one of two Indiana Jones sets I had back in the day. I had this one from 2008, and then the 2009 Ambush in Cairo Raiders set. And then we also have the Race for the Stolen Treasure, which has always been a set that has been very uninteresting to me, but one day I might pick it up. Either way, that is it for the instructions. So overall, I think these are very memorable designs for cars for a licensed theme. Getting these 1930s cars and then in a 6 wide scaling is just really not seen in too many other sets, if at all. That makes them stand apart because they're also very well made on the exterior. They're sturdy. They have lots of different shapes using a limited amount of pieces. Keep in mind how different 2009 Lego was to 2020 Lego. But at the end of the day, I think there are some shortcomings with this 6 wide scale, definitely showing on the convertible's interior on how you can't fit all 3 of the minifigures really. But I think the sedan is almost perfect on how its sizing works, how the interior is very roomy, how the shaping is. I think that is the better car of the two, but I still think the exterior of the convertible looks a little bit better because that's just a very, very unique design. But at the end of the day, both cars are great, and I think this is a worthwhile set to pick up if you can find it near the retail price. Nowadays, unfortunately, it goes for a lot, but understandably so. This was a very interesting design for vehicles. Also, the minifigures themselves do have the interesting parts that are just exclusive to the set, and I'm not just talking about prints, but like I said, Willie Scott's hair being a piece that appears in one set, having a hair piece that only appears on one set is just a very rare thing from Lego, and it just shows the dedication. And I think the Willie Scott figure of the set is one of my favorite Indiana Jones figures in general. So yeah, very, very good set in my opinion. There are some shortcomings, but at the end of the day, I do recommend this one. Hopefully you can find it for cheap though. Unfortunately, the Indiana Jones sets are very expensive now, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.